What's good? What's good? I saw a meme or like a picture on Instagram, a post. Someone had said that the inventor of insulin sold the patent for $1 because he wanted it to just be available for the world. Boy, was he wrong. Maybe not wrong in what he did, but wrong in how it would turn out. But that post prompted me to ponder a little bit, as I often do, on this concept of property rights, but more specifically, intellectual property. Because I may have a heterodox opinion within the anarchist community on that. I don't know, actually. I would love to explore more. And to be fair, the anarchist community cannot agree on anything. It's fun and annoying at the same time. But let's continue talking about insulin for a minute because I think it's pertinent to our society today. That's something I often see people post about. Why is insulin so expensive? It's a life-saving drug, blah, blah, blah. And the reason it is expensive is fascism. The government restricts who has the rights to make insulin. They restrict the testing, they restrict everything, right? It's a highly regulated market. But, the government probably, well, they definitely, Eli Lilly is a name that comes to mind. They're a pharmaceutical company. I think they make insulin. You can bet your bottom dollar they have connections in our government, and they're just continuing to perpetuate a non-competitive market, which is not capitalism, you guys. If you're not allowed to compete, that's not a free market. Like, how basic, how that is so basic. How do people not see that this is not capitalism? It's not capitalism's fault that insulin is expensive. It is, in fact, the government's fault, the fascist state that we live in. What does that have to do with intellectual property? Well, in my brain, I don't think someone can or should be able to own a formula, essentially. I don't think that someone should be able to invent something like insulin, create it, and distribute it, and then not let other people recreate it. Because it's not a physical thing. The insulin itself is physical once it has been created. But if somebody can reverse engineer the formula, they should totally be allowed to. Because you're not stealing anything. You're not stealing someone's discovery. The discovery has been made. Hoarding that discovery, I believe, is immoral. But then also, if you, I don't think intellectual property in this capacity should be a property right. If college kids are able to make insulin, they should be allowed to do that and then sell it. That would overnight essentially destroy the price of insulin. The market would be corrected overnight if we were to just let people make medicine. What other intellectual property rights can we talk about? Logos maybe are a little different, because if your logo is a representation of you and your business, then that kind of gets into like fraud. But that's different than organic substances, even though the logos might represent an organic, like a logo on a t-shirt. This is organic, right? So like the recipe for cotton to weave it into shirts, that's another intellectual property thing, but it's not, right? If someone can figure out how to weave cotton into comfortable shirts, let them. This shirt in its existence, though, this is my shirt. My shirt. And I've got a logo on my shirt. And so now, if somebody were to copy that logo and claim to be me or represent me, that would be fraud. So it's what they do with the intellectual property in this capacity that kind of determines if it creates a conflict or not. I don't know. This video, I'm just going to be like pondering intellectual property. What else? Music. That's another one. Where I guess other people should be allowed to cover music. But again, it gets down into if you have a physical CD that you're selling, that's the good. Even the music in itself is the good, but if somebody covers it, so what? Part of me, and let me see if I can sort of distill this thought that I have. I have this friend that like his big goal in life is to just invent something, to get rich. That's just his goal. It's like whatever widget he can invent and mass produce and distribute to get rich. That's his goal in life. It's not to address any specific societal need. It's not to contribute to his community in any specific way. It's just so he can patent his idea and get rich. And I think that's the wrong approach to life and to the meaning of life. I mean, I don't want to say no judgment because I want to be critical, but not in a judgmental sort of fashion. Because if he does create this widget and then somebody else can create that widget, recreate it, what has he actually created? An idea. But how do you possess an idea? You can, but then if you share it, put it out into the universe, you've decided to share it. So I don't know. Let me know your thoughts. How do we handle intellectual property rights in a stateless society? What is actually yours? And what right do you have? Like insulin, I want to circle back and finish on the insulin subject. What right does anyone have to own the formula to insulin? I understand I have the right to own this shirt. It's a material, physical thing. But other people should have the right to make shirts. And so I don't know. Let me know your thoughts. Thank you.